Awesome. So welcome, welcome, welcome to, yes, effective communication. We're going to have a lot of fun and we're going to learn because, as I was just saying to you guys here on Zoom, the more you experience something, the more you take part in something and are actually active in something rather than just half listening, the more you're going to keep this forefront in your mind and the more it's going to be proactive for you and you're going to get better results from this. So, okay. So keep your finger on the button. Okay, and put it in the chat if you haven't done so already. Where are you watching from? Okay, and are you ready? Put a yes in the comments if you are ready to learn effective communication. Give me a yes. Tell me, are you ready to learn effective communication? Is that what you're here for? Is that what you're here for? I presume so, or you're in the wrong Zoom room. Awesome. Yes, please. Yes, for sure. Yes. Yes, 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 yes. Okay. Okay. So we're here. We're all on Zoom. You can all see me. You can all hear me. Yes. Awesome. Okay. And you're ready to learn effective communication so that you can have more success in your business and your life. Yes. Awesome. We ready for that? We ready to go? Okay. So tell me if you haven't told me yet, where are you watching this from? Okay. I want you to tell me, where are you watching this from? Where are you watching this from? Okay, good seeing you. Yep. Yes, yes, yes. Okay. I want you to keep active. There's no stagnancy here. Sweden, we've got someone from Sweden. We've got Slovakia. We've got Offaly. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Okay. What else? Where are you from? Is it sunny? Is it cold? Is it raining? Have you got a cold? Let me know. Okay. So you may have heard me saying this before. If you've heard me speak before, you may have heard this before. So it's cold in Spain. The rain falls mainly on the plain. Okay, so it's cold in Spain. Really? It's cold in Spain? Nah, not as cold as here. Is it? Common, it is Sweden, so never warm. Yeah, but it's beautiful though, isn't it? It's a good country. I'm going to ask you, whoever is unmuted, please mute yourself. Much appreciated until we go into the rooms. Okay, awesome. So it is often said that the single biggest problem with communication is the illusion that it has taken place. Have you heard that said before? Put in the comments and tell me, have you heard that quote said before? And what do you think that means? Some of you may have heard me saying that from the stage a couple of weeks ago at one of my talks. Yeah, hi Joan, hi. Okay, Donna hasn't heard that before. Who else? Carolyn has heard it before. You've heard me saying that, have you? Awesome. Now, what does it mean? Who wants to give a guess of how do you interpret that? The single biggest problem with communication is the illusion that it has taken place. What do you take from that quote? What do you take from that? The single biggest problem with communication is the illusion that it has taken place. What do you take from that quote? What do you get from that? What do you learn from that? What does that make you ponder on? What does that make you think? Come on. Let's go. We got to type fast. People don't really connect and there are gaps in the transfer of information. Awesome. Jackie's in the house. Yes. Very true. Exactly. Mary, assuming we have communicated clearly. Yes, we make a lot of assumptions, don't we? We make a lot of assumptions. Yeah, Caroline, you presume the other person has understood what you wanted to express. Absolutely. Hetty, everything is an assumption, 100%. Yeah. iPhone, whoever iPhone is, had it been communicated? Yeah, had it been communicated? Exactly. Maggie, you presume someone knows what you are thinking about. Yeah, that's true too. And Donna says that talking is just communicating. Talking is just communicating, or communicating is just talking? Okay, very good. Yes. So we could also say communicating. Do we think that communicating is just talking? Or could it be more than just talking? So, okay, now I'm going to share some slides with you just so that I keep this on track and I make sure that we keep to time because we've got 2 days, we've got loads of stuff to do. And I want you guys getting something that is gold that you can transfer into your business so that you can get sales, build relationships, get more clients, get more leads, etc. straight away. So I want to make this really, really simple for you over these 2 days. So that you can start to see and hear with your superpowers, right? What I'm actually going to be doing, what I'm doing right now. Okay. Now, some of my students may have already seen things, may have already spotted things. Put it in the comments, put it in the chat. If you've already spotted some stuff, I expect at least 1 or 2 yeses from some of you guys. Okay. Have you already spotted what I'm doing? And for those of you that have not yet spotted it, you will be very, very soon, because I'm going to make it as obvious as I possibly can, and more obvious. It's going to become more and more obvious as time progresses, so that you also get superpowers. Because I want to say to you is this: we do have some phenomenal hypnotists in the house. However, what I'm going to say is I'm going to make a big assumption here. And I know it's true, and that's a big assumption. And my assumption is that you are the best hypnotist in the world. I know it. You are. You are a phenomenal hypnotist. You are. You just may not know it yet, but you are. And the problem is, and here's the problem, here's where the single biggest problem with communication is the illusion that it has taken place. Here's the problem, that a lot of us are doing it kind of in a non-beneficial, is that a word? Unbeneficial way. So we are hypnotizing ourselves. Yep, yes. And we are hypnotizing others in a negative way. We are actually, sabotaging ourselves often. We are often repelling people from our lives. We are often stopping people from buying from us. We are often putting people into negative emotional moods, okay, and states. We're sabotaging ourselves all the time. Would you agree with that? Do you think there is some truth in that? Do you think there's some truth, or am I just totally crazy here? Would you agree that that is possible, that that is happening? Oh, yeah. Believe me, yeah. And so you are a phenomenal hypnotist already. I'm not here to actually really teach you any skills. Yeah. I'm here to guide you to discovering your superpower that you already have so that you can hone it in the most effective way, in the most beneficial way for you. Now, what happens is, and I guess this is the last thing before I go into my slides. What happens is, a lot of the time we tend to box things into little boxes. And as Eddie very wisely said, everything is an assumption, because our brain is really very simple. You are an incredible hypnotist, but you're really quite simple. Okay. And our brains love to group information together into generalizations, distortions, and deletions. So they group information. So when you hear something, for example, what most people have done is, most of this stuff we've kind of heard. At some point or other, we've heard everything. We've heard these things like, you get more what you focus on. Who's heard that? Put in the comments. Heard that. Sinead is driving. Keep your eyes on the road. That's okay. You just... I have no idea why somebody is saying Visa. You're giving me your Visa card already. Why is somebody... iPhone has put Visa in the chat. I have no idea. Who's iPhone? Could you tell me who iPhone is? Give me your name, because I don't want any people with no names in here. Yes. I'm going to mute you. Who is that? I'm going to mute whoever that is. Sinead, mute. Oh, Sinead, I'm muting you. That's okay. Who is iPhone? Oh, is iPhone? No, that's not Sinead O'Connor. We have Sinead O'Connor. Is that possible? Isn't that amazing? That's what an incredible hypnotist I am. I've brought you Sinead O'Connor. That's terrible, actually. That's not even funny. Okay, it was me, I meant vice versa. It was me, I meant vice versa. Oh, Joan. Joan. Oh, you meant vice, not visa. Okay. Okay, I get it now. Okay, so we tend to group bits of information together. So we make a lot of assumptions. So when we hear something like, for example, something like you get more what you focus on, we say, oh, that's really intelligent. That sounds very intellectual. I can say that. I can quote that and I sound really smart. But the question is, do you use it? I mean, do you really use it? And you're kind of going, what? How do I use it? You know, I mean, my whole life changed because of that quote. Because of the quote, you get more what you focus on. And it's really, really simple. And everything I do boils down to this. And I'm going to give you the biggest secret, and my students are probably going to be slapping me afterwards and kind of saying, what are you doing? Okay, but I'm going to give you the secret to life right now. Do you want it? Do you want it? Do you want to know what it is? Tell me you want it. Come on, tell me you want it. Do you want it? Come on, give me a yes. Okay, here's the secret to life. And I'm not going to say it because I'm a hypnotist, yeah, and so are you. And we know that if is a kind of not a great word, is it? Is that a good word for your sales? Is that a good word for you to get clients? If you say, you know, something such as, you know, if you're interested in this, let me know. Well, it's iffy. We want yeses. We want certainty. How do you give certainty? With choices. So with choices, with when, that's a presumption, isn't it? Isn't that an assumption, Eddie? But we're going to use presumptions because we know how to use powerful words. So we're going to say when you put it in the comments, when you decide, when you start to understand what this means, when you know that you want this, that's an assumption that you're going to. It's not an iffy word. Okay, it's much more powerful, right? So when you understand what I mean by you get more what you focus on, and here's the thing, you want this? Here's the secret to life. And there's so much in this. I could do a year's training on this alone, and some of my students will get this, right? This is it. This is it. Secret to life. Embody this, live this, do this all the time, and you will feel better. You will have better relationships. You will have much more money, much more success, and life will be great. Good. Do this. Not that, but this. Not that, but this. Not that, but this. I know you're looking at me and kind of going crazy, but please, 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 will one of my students at least say there is truth in that? Will you tell them that I'm not completely insane and that there's serious grounding to that? There is serious gold in that sentence. Do I have any of my students still here? Have they all disappeared? Come on. Mary's gone. Laura. Comments. Come on, guys. Okay, now what I mean by that is this. This is the gold. Thought it was a rave with the hands. Not that, but this. Do you see the direction? I'm giving you gold, Eddie. Pay attention now. Okay, I'm giving you gold. Not that, but this. Not that, but this. Yes, Deirdre. Yeah, she's one of my NLP students. Not that. Whoa, where am I putting it? I'm looking at you on the screen, right? In your past, right? Not in the future, in your past. Okay, now, but really what I want to talk about is the words, not that. Doesn't that feel further away? Doesn't this feel closer as a word? Doesn't it? How are you using that in your communication? And what's that got to do with, or this got to do with, you get more what you focus on? Because you want to focus on this. You want to focus on this. You want to focus on the direction of where you're looking, the direction of where you're leading people. Where are you bringing people? Are you bringing them into their problems? Are you bringing them into the past? Or are you bringing things into the present and into the future? Language is extremely important. Yes. Okay. Jen says there is truth in it. Danielle's not crazy. I swear. Thank you, Jen. Thank you, Jen. Thank you. She's one of my NLP students. Okay, there is gold in this. I'm giving you gold. I'm giving you gold. Okay, now I'm going to start here because I'm going to talk and I want to make sure that we keep on time and that I want to get you guys doing some stuff. So, share screen. Portion of the share. Okay, now you guys should all be looking at this. Is that correct? But this, not that. This, but that. Are you all looking at this, but not that? Can somebody tell me what you guys are looking at? How do I see the chat now when you are here? Oh yeah, chat. Okay, awesome. Oh no, I put the chat into the group. No, hold on, let me see. How do I move the chat? Move you guys. Yes, the not. I don't understand the context of that. Okay, awesome. So I'm going to make this really, really, really simple so that you can start to see what I'm actually talking about. Okay. But first, I want to, some of you might know I'm half Irish, half Italian. And if you've heard this joke before, I am so sorry. I apologize in advance. But I'm half Irish, half a Roman girl. My father, my Italian family lives in Rome. And do you know what Roman cats use to brush their hair with? To brush their hair with, that's not good English. Do you know what Roman cats use to brush their hair? Now, some of you heard this at my terrible joke at my last event, so don't give it away. Okay, what do they use? Yeah, they use, of course, catacombs. Well, laugh with me, not at me, please. Okay, please laugh with me. Tell me you're laughing with me. Put in the comments and tell me if you're laughing with me or at me. What do Roman cats use to brush their hair? What do kitty cats use? Roman kitty cats use to brush their hair. Okay, yeah, catacombs, of course. Okay, or to comb their hair, to fix their hair, maybe we should say. You're with me. You're with me. Who's mic done? I'm going to check through you guys. Okay, awesome. So now this is going to become very obvious in a second. Who thinks I'm doing nothing and just talking rubbish? Who thinks I'm just telling jokes and there's no sense, there's no method, there's no madness in what I'm doing? Who thinks that this is just random conversation and I'm just some crazy Irish Italian girl, or there's some method, some reason as to why I am doing what I'm doing? Give me a 1 for I'm just crazy, and 2, there's method in my madness. Put a 2 in if you think there is method in my madness. Who thinks I'm just crazy? Who's never heard me talk before and thinks 1 is also true. So true, Jackie. That's very true. It's okay. It's okay. A little bit of madness. Yes, a lot of madness. 1 and 2. Hey, Karen, you're one of my students. Laura, you're one of my students. Okay, okay, awesome. So yes, there is a bit of both, but I want you to focus on the number 2 at the moment. Okay, okay. So now, seriously, I do this because I really, really want to help you have more success, okay, with your communication, both with your clients and your results and your sales, and also with yourself, with your relationships, etc., etc. And the reason why I'm doing this is so that you will now see what is actually happening. Would you like to see? Would you like to see this? Would you like to see what is happening? Yeah? You'd like to see what is happening. So how do I change that now? Oh yeah, here. So, okay. So some of you might have, awesome. Yes. Some of you might have been on, previously who got a brain hacks cheat sheet of me before? Who got that before of mine? A lot of you probably got that. Okay, if you didn't, that's fine. We're going to go through it. If you got it, you're going to be going into this in-depthly now and really understanding what I'm talking about. Okay, so this is something that I kind of have given out as a PDF. I will send it to all of you guys, so you will have this for your notes, and it'll give you a bit of a revision, a reminder of the stuff that we're going to be going through over these 2 days. Okay, and how to utilize it. And it's more in-depth, a little tiny bit more in-depth than the one that you might have got before. So if you've got it, and if you haven't got it, fine. So if you don't know who I am, some of you know I'm not going to give you my story. We don't have time. But basically, I went from being a restaurateur. I went from having a very turbulent, disruptive childhood. As I said, I have an Italian father, an Irish mother, and I had a very discombobulated childhood. It led me to wanting to be all together, all efficient, and I opened restaurants, and I had 4 businesses, 3 restaurants and a gift shop for 17 years. Opened my first one when I was 19. At 36 years of age, I went bust. I went bankrupt. Well, actually, I didn't go bankrupt. My business is closed at that point. I struggled with the banks, fought the banks for about another 6-7 years until 2016. Okay, when I finally gave up fighting with the bank and actually officially handed back my house. Okay, in 2016. At that point, I was homeless. literally. Okay. Now, I have always been a grafter. I've always been somebody, because I was a natural survivor. I had to be. I had to learn how to grow up very quickly because I had two, eccentric, well, not really, well, I had an eccentric mother, maybe a hippie mother, and a father that needed to look after himself at the time. So I had a very much a childhood where I had to learn how to lead myself and manage myself. So I was very good at getting things done and picking myself up and having confidence. But there's a huge difference between confidence and self-belief and self-worth. Big, big difference. And when everything came crashing down, when my businesses collapsed in the crash of the Celtic Tiger in 2009, was it 2009? Yeah, I that's when I closed my businesses, and I hit rock bottom. I hit rock bottom. I was in a really, really, really emotionally bad way. Um, Everything that I had never dealt with came up to the surface, and I didn't know how to cope. And luckily, I was a black belt. I decided to pick myself back up. I decided to go on a journey, which led me down to everything that I'm doing now. Had no intention of going there for that reason. I didn't intend to become a coach. I didn't intend to speak about communication. I didn't intend to become a hypnotist, an NLPist. That was not my intention, but I just wanted to save myself and feel better. And what I discovered was that's where the brand came, the Black Belt Mastermind, because I'm a black belt as well. And I decided I was going to be a black belt inside and learn how to lead myself and be strong on the inside, and really, have values and have standards for myself and respect myself on the inside before anything else. And it helped me so much. But what really helped me most was learning about how I spoke to myself and my communication. And once I realized how nasty I was to myself, I changed that language, and that all started to have an effect on everybody else. And it led to, obviously, other people listening, other people changing. I went on lots of trainings. I trained with the best in the world. I trained with, Paul McKenna, Tony Robbins, Richard Bandler, who's the creator of NLP, Justin Trans, Eddie Malloy also was trained with him here, an incredible hypnotist, and loads at every hypnosis training, every psychological training, every kind of communication training. I'm also trained as a script writer. I'm big into writing. I have 2 novels. I'm big into communication. Big into communication is my passion. And I learned that there is a better way, a more effective way to communicate, because simply put, most of us are just speaking to the conscious mind. Or, sorry, most of us are only aware, rather, of what we're saying to the conscious mind. And we're not aware of what we're saying and how that's affecting the subconscious mind. But the subconscious mind, and here's the deal, is 93% of your mind. So which part do you want to speak to? Which part do you want to know how to have an effect on? Do you want to just randomly say things that has a negative effect on people? Or do you want to actually have self-sovereignty of it and be in control of it and be in management of it? And this is what we're going to do. So that led me to this being my business. It led me to, in 2006, I handed back my home. I was homeless. I was broke. I had nothing. And that was great. That was a great moment, because that was when I really decided, that's it, I'm going for it. And I was free of all the past, and I started to go for it. And my business just started to grow really well. And COVID for me was phenomenal. I didn't think I could bring my business online. I didn't think I could do anything online. And I did. And it was absolutely phenomenal. So I know this office that I'm in here, this room that I'm in is an office that I built. It cost me 40,000. I bought my house for cash, 100. It wasn't expensive now, or, it was 100 grand, but however, I was able to buy it in cash. So I was able to, because I couldn't get a mortgage because I was bankrupt. So I was able to create income, create a new lifestyle, create a new way, feel better about myself, have a much better life. I have an incredible business of incredible students. This business has been running for many, many years. Very proud, very happy with myself, love myself a lot more. And all because I learned effective communication. Effective communication. And it's funny, today I was saying it to somebody. I was saying, oh, would you like the link? You're a coach. And she goes, oh, no, I know about effective communication. Now, there's an assumption, isn't it? Isn't it, Eddie? There's an assumption. We just presume we know it. And then the same people are the people that say, oh, yes, I'm a life learner. I never stop learning. I have an open mind. And they quote things like that. But then as soon as you come along and say, well, would you like to see this then? They're, no, I know it all. I know that already. Okay. So does that make sense? So I want to help you to see what you kind of deeply already know, but you've kind of forgotten what you're already doing, but you're not aware that you're doing, so that you have more power to use it in not that way, but this way. Okay. So does that sound good? Okay. So I'm going to go on to the next slide here. I want to get you in rooms. So I kind of shared a little bit about my story, didn't I? Some of you saying your backstory is amazing. Now, you know that some of you know that I nearly killed myself. Okay. That, like I was really, really down. It was a very, very difficult time. It brought up so much stuff about my past, about my childhood, about my relationship with my father. I hadn't seen my father for 8 years. I felt unworthy. I felt unlovable. I thought my own father didn't love me. I must be unlovable. I must be dirt. Nobody would ever want me. And, I felt really, really at rock bottom. But now I have a great relationship with my dad, by the way. We go over, I do NLP trainings every year. I bring him to the villa. He has a ball. We get on great. I go over to see him all the time. We have a really good relationship because I've learned how to listen as well. I've learned also not just how to speak, but also how to listen effectively, because you're going to learn how to mind read. Does that sound good? Would that be useful for you? To read people, to learn how they really, what's going on inside their head, what's going on inside their mind. So let's get to it. Now, has anyone seen a pattern yet of what's already happened? Put a yes in the comments if you've seen what has already happened. Okay, what some of the things that's already happening in these slides. Have you noticed anything that's already happened? Yes, 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 yes. Awesome, awesome, awesome. I'm curious to know what you've noticed. Okay, so I'm teaching you in a way that I always like to teach. Who here has heard of, I'm going to make it very obvious because I want to make it very simple, because the brain loves simple. We like it simple, we like it easy. Who here has heard of priming? Put it in the comments. Put it in the chat. Tell me, have you heard of priming? Yes. Who's here has heard of priming? Do you know? No, yes. Do you know what it means? Is it possible? Yes. Is there a possibility that I am doing priming, showing you priming right now? Right? It's going to become more evident. So the first thing I want to share with you is the brain loves certain things. And when, right? Not if, when you start to use these in your communication with other people, you are going to get better results. So have you heard an emotional experience is going to have more potency? Have you heard this? Have you heard this said? Do you know that there's a difference between intellectual and emotional? So when we bring emotion into it, do you think people are going to remember something better? Yeah? Okay. So I want you to think about, what do you want to do? What's the reason that you came here? What do you want to do with more effective communication? What do you want to do with it? Put in the comments. What would be the result? Let's say you had really effective communication. You went from to vroom. What would happen? What would happen when you have truly effective communication? What would change in your life? Yeah. Increased self-belief and communicate and connect better with clients. Oh yeah. Enrich my life and my family's life. I like that one. Lovely. Yeah. Better relationships. Yes. Clients book me directly. Yeah, we're going to get to that. I know you are all chomping to the bit to get to that part. Yeah. Tap more into clients. Yes, yes, yes. We're doing it. We're doing it. Clarity in your message. Okay. Yes, we can do that. More clients. I'd impact my personal and business life. Okay. Awesome. Yes. So when you think of that, how does that feel? What does it feel like? What would you be doing? Let's say we could just transport you, like bloop, blop, and plop you into, say, 6 months from now. I've brought you, has anyone seen, I was going to say Winnie the Pooh, not Winnie the Pooh, the guy that goes in the telephone box, woo, woo. Let's come back to me. It's on the tip of my tongue. Doctor Who, not Winnie the Pooh. Doctor Who. And, when you go in your time, imagine you're transported. You go into your little telephone box, whoop, plonk, and we've plonked you into 6 months from now. Just imagine you're here. 6 months from now, you are here right now, and you have effective communication. Yeah. How does that feel? What's different about you? What's different about you knowing that you can communicate with ease, knowing that you can read people better, knowing that you can just sell comfortably, knowing that you can talk about what you do with clarity? How does that feel? What's different? What's different in your life? Feel confident? Yeah. Felt conviction, empowering, feels empowering, happiness, feels great. Yeah. Okay. Awesome. Awesome. Yeah. So does it bring up emotion? Does it bring up emotion? Yeah. Awesome. So can you see what's happening here? I'm making it very obvious. Can you see what's happening? I'm showing you by speaking to you exactly what you do. Exactly what you do with your clients. Exactly what you do with your children. Exactly what you do with your partner. Confidence, yes, yes. Confidence to let people be intrigued in what I do. Yes, awesome. Okay, we're going to talk about that as well. So do you want this? Do you want this? Imagine having it. Just simply imagine. Let's just simply imagine that you've got the clients, you've got the sales, you've got the lifestyle, you've got the home, you've got it all, it's paid for, you've got the money coming in. How does that feel? What's different about you? What is different about you? Tell me what's different about you right now. Right now. What's different? Yeah? Confidence, let people be intrigued. You are empowering us through language. Yes, yes, yes. Good woman. Whose iPhone again? Oh, that's a Visa card. That's Joan. Okay. It's an empowering feeling. Yes, I feel more alive and excited with life. Yes, exactly. Yes, and iPhone is laughing. Okay, okay, awesome. So no pressure, just flows. Yeah, isn't it good? Isn't it good? Isn't it good to feel like this? Right, now, so I trust that this is kind of landing. I trust that you are getting this. Yeah, you're getting this. You're getting the language. You're getting the communication. Some of you are seeing a little bit more. Okay, so I am attempting to make it obvious and yet not so obvious. Okay, I'm attempting to show you what I'm doing without fully showing you everything that I'm doing because I want you to learn some of this. Okay, so one of the things I always do, I always teach before I teach, which is priming. I always teach you the lesson before you've officially learned the lesson, before we officially go on to the lesson. Does that make sense? So when you think about yourself and who you are you the type of person who kind of just wings it? Are you the type of person who just kind of like, wants to get a client, wants to get a sale, and is just kind of flowing it out there? Or are you the type of person that's going to plan this in advance? Because you know that everything happens twice, right? You've heard that before. First in your mind and then reality. If it hasn't happened in here first, it's never going to happen on the outside. So when you think about the client that you want, have you imagined having that client? Have you assumed the sale? Have you imagined, what it feels like to receive the money? Have you imagined that? Have you visualized that? Have you felt that? Because you've got to start doing that for you to actually make it happen in a reality. You've got to find ways to do it. You get more of what you focus on. You get more of what you focus on. And that is who you want to identify with, because identity, something called identity bias, is our strongest, one of our strongest biases, our strongest instincts, our strongest natural ways of wanting to follow through and with and comply with. So if we identify as someone who kind of winging it, then we're going to continue to wing it and we're not going to get the people. If we identify with someone who's going to get the clients, then you're going to identify as someone who gets the clients and get the sales. Does that make sense? So you've got to start thinking about who you are, how you do this in advance, and start planning it in advance. Now, the subconscious mind loves. What's the number one thing that the subconscious mind wants? What's the number one job of your subconscious mind? Put it in the comments. Let me take some more. Simplicity, says Laura. I think there was another context, wasn't it? Love to keep you safe. Yes, to keep you safe. Yes, to keep you alive, to keep you safe. 100%, to protect us. Yes, it wants to keep you safe. It wants to keep you alive. So let me ask you this. Do you keep your clients safe? Do you keep them safe? Now, I don't mean by just in the sense of like, you're a black belt and you protect them physically. I'm talking about, do they feel safe? Do they feel like you are the authority? Do they feel like you've got them? You got it. Do they feel like, you know what, I'm in safe hands here? Does that make sense? Because, I'll give you an example. I was in the restaurant business for 17 years. I don't know if anyone's been in the service industry or restaurant business. And every time I came to work, as I was the boss, staff would say to me, I love when you're here. I love when you're here. Oh, and they would feel safe. It's just a relief to have you here. And it wasn't because they were worried in case someone was going to break in and I was going to do some kick-ass moves. It wasn't safe in that sense. It was, they felt that I was the one that kind of held them. It was that sense of, I've got you. And I'm wondering, for you as an authority on your subject, on your business, are you creating that state? Are you creating that feeling, that energy when you're meeting somebody, when you're, selling to somebody, when you're talking about your services? Are you doing that? Or are you, oh God, are you in your head? Because remember, everything happens twice. Remember, everything happens twice. So which one are you? Are you one in your head going, oh God, I feel really uncomfortable saying this about my service and I don't know if they're going to buy, they're not going to buy, they're not going to do it, they're not going to buy, they're not going to buy, they're not going to buy, they're not going to buy. Or are you doing like, yeah, okay, let me see how best I can serve this person. I know I've got something to give them. I know I can help them. I know I can change their lives. I know I can make a difference. I'm going to convey this. I'm going to express this in the best way. I'm going to support them. I'm going to show them, and I'm going to make them feel really safe and loved and valued and respected and all of that. And so that they feel that. Which one are you focused on? Yes, I think so, but problem in my head. So then there's two things going on there. So then you're in the between land. You're not in the not that, and you're not in the this. You're kind of somewhere here, right? Or you're so that's not going to feel safe. If you're fluctuating, that's not going to feel safe. I thought they were saying I'm loving your hair. I don't, okay, not sure of the context, but that's great. You love my hair. Okay. Okay. So, okay, I want to keep moving. So, okay, so we're going to go on to this. So I've said already, keep it simple, haven't I? Have you seen the pattern yet? We want to keep it simple. Do you know how to keep it simple for your clients? Do you know how to keep it simple when you're talking about what you sell? Do you know how to keep it simple in your posts, in your social media, etc., etc.? Yeah? Okay, while at the same time having fun. What's the reason for the jokes? What's the reason for that? What's the reason? Why do we joke? Simple is always best. Always, always best. Yeah? Why do we add some humor in? Now, it has to be you. It has to be natural. I'm not suggesting that everyone has to make a joke. But what I'm saying is humor and fun are the brain loves it. The brain loves it. If you're just boring, with all respect, but if I just go, and I have to be yourself, right? Because that's one of the things I learned. I wore a mask for 36 years and I ain't doing that any longer. Okay. However, but it's exhausting. That's awful. So everyone knows I'm a bit of a messer, but fun and humor are the brain sucks it up. So if I just stand here and do my little power pose while I'm speaking and I just talk in a monotone voice, it's going to be boring. Are you going to take information in? Right? So we've got to build rapport, create emotional states. When you're in a good state, here's something really important. You want to do something more of something, you procrastinate over something. Okay. It's simply because you've linked a negative emotion to something that you want to do more of. If you want to do more of something, link a positive emotion to it. think a positive emotion. So I want you to absorb this information. I want you to listen. I want you to be focused. I want you to be having fun, because if you're having fun and you're laughing and you're in a good energetic state, this information is going to go in better. Does that make sense? Okay. So we want to keep it simple. Okay. We want to, this, by the way, goes for, your posts. Now, I teach this. I teach a lot about like content. And how to write content for social media. And we do want to have certain different types. We want to have long posts with value, but we also want to have short posts. We want to have contrast. Contrast in life is really important. My brand, the Black Belt Mastermind, if you see a little thing like this in it, in my logo, is the yin and yang. It's the scholar, it's the warrior, it's the two, it's the soft and the hard, it's the both of them. We want to have contrast. There's always contrast in life. And if you don't have contrast, it's unbalanced and it's not going to land. But so we want to have all elements. We want to have simple stuff that gets straight to the point. So talking about that, right. You've noticed that we've had some fun. So now I want you to do that. This is where it gets fun. I want you to go into a room. I'm going to share you guys. I'm going to stop sharing for a second. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put you guys into a room. If you've got your video off, you can leave your video off. You can still talk if you want. I'll put you 3 in a room in case there's somebody in there that can't do anything at the moment. And what you're going to do is you're going to go in just for 4 minutes. And what I want you to do is this. I want you to talk about your business by telling them something fun that happened in your business, in your career, something that has happened that's funny, that's entertaining, that's happened in your business. Does that make sense? Yeah? So that's what I want you to do. I want you to talk about something that was entertaining, that is funny, a funny story about something that happened in your business. Now, let me find the chat. How do I find the chat again? Not the chat, the breakout rooms. Okay, 1, 2, 3. You may have more than 3. You might have about 3 or 4 rooms. If you're in a room on your own, don't stay where you are, and I will move you. I will move you and I will bring you guys back. So you don't have to do anything. If you're in your room on your own, just stay there until I move you guys. And 2 minutes each side, talk about something funny, a funny story about your business, so they get to know about your business, but with a funny story about your business. Okay, something entertaining, what's the funniest thing that's ever happened? What's the weirdest thing? What's the strangest thing? What's the most entertaining thing? Did you ever laugh yourself silly? Did something go wrong, but it's actually quite funny? What has happened in your business that's actually been quite entertaining? Tell them about your business and make it fun. Okay, they're going to remember you this way, promise. Okay, so I trust that was good fun. I know I brought this out quite quick. We're going to be doing it again. So I'll be putting you back into rooms again in a few minutes. So when I get through this, I've gone on a little bit for time. So we'll just wait for everybody to come back and put in the comments and let me know, was that fun? Do you remember about the person that was talking? Do you remember what they did, what they do? You know, do you remember do you have an idea of what they do? Do you remember them? Do you think you will remember them? Do you think that you'll remember what they do? This way, no, noting I kind
well, we didn't get time to finish. I took over.
I'll be putting you guys back into rooms in a moment. I'll be putting you guys back in a moment as well. So I'm going to ask you guys to mute. Once again, I know this was very fast. Mute. There, okay, awesome. So I met a colleague. That's funny. That's great. All the way from Sweden. Awesome stuff. And yes, snoring. Don't get that. I'm confused. A story about snoring. So I presume you remember what the person also does as a business, probably, yeah? What they do. Funny thing, you may remember when I was publishing my book, I put my dad's. Okay, what can I do? Off the cover. That's true. That's very funny. I was in one room and then moved to another, didn't get any ideas. Okay, so basically it's more about, I'm going to put you guys back into rooms in a second. It's more about getting you thinking of an alternative way about getting people to remember you. Okay, and funny stories help. Funny stories help rather than just saying, I am a coach, I am an accountant, or whatever that might be. Okay, so there are different ways of sharing your information, and so you can be remembered much more vividly. So in line with that, I'm just going to go back to my slides here. Let me close this. I'm going to be going into breakout rooms again in a second. It's going to get better, guys. I know you're going to want to get very specific because I'm hoping that some of you are getting the importance of the fundamentals that I'm talking about here. I'm hoping that you're starting to grasp that the stuff that we've actually done so far is really the groundwork for the little bits, the little teensy bits. It's like learning how to write. You know, you have to learn the alphabet before you can learn how to do joint writing. Does that make sense? So when you know the fundamentals, like, the brain loves this, I've got to make sure this is involved, I've got to make sure I've done this, then the other stuff, like, okay, just tell me what to say in the words, la la la, that's secondary. It's secondary, really. It really is, in the business. Yeah, exactly. I'm going to write all the funny moments in the business from now on. Yeah, if you have some funny stories, having some funny stories to share will make people remember you. Will make, they'll remember you, Okay, so let's keep going. Okay, so just want you to think about, you have you heard this said? Have you heard it said that the subconscious mind does not know the difference between what's real or imagined? Right? Yeah? Have you utilized that to your advantage? Because here's very quickly and very simply what that means. Okay? When we get somebody to imagine that they have something, guess what happens? What happens when we get somebody to imagine that they have something, or they feel something, or they're somewhere, or they've got it, they feel it, they're living it? What happens next? You all understand that the subconscious mind cannot process the difference between what's real or imagined. So you've all had a dream. You've all had a dream where you felt excited. You've been dreaming about some sexy person, and you wake up and you go, oh God, it was just a dream. Or you've had a dream and you've had a nightmare, and you wake up and you go, oh God, thank God that was just a nightmare, right? Why? Why did you feel that emotion? Because you didn't know that it wasn't real, because you were dreaming. So in other words, your conscious mind was asleep, but your subconscious mind was awake, because your subconscious mind is always awake, even when your conscious mind is asleep. If your subconscious mind goes to sleep, you're dead. Okay, so your subconscious mind is always awake. So it hears everything. That's why, when you're in hypnosis, it doesn't matter if you go to sleep, it's still going in. Okay, but when you're sleeping, okay, your conscious mind has gone to la la la, the conscious mind has gone to sleep. Okay, it's having a rest. And that means that your subconscious mind doesn't know that it's dreaming. It thinks it's real. So when you come back into consciousness, you go, oh my God, that was just a dream. You realize. But the reason why I'm saying that is, do you understand the potency of getting somebody to imagine? Is the most powerful tool that you have, is to use the word imagine. Imagine. Just simply imagine. Just simply imagine. And what happens? Yes, Kate, good woman, good student. Yes, loss bias. So I've given this example before. Let's imagine that somebody has won the Euro Millions right now. They've won 100 million right now. Someone has won 100 million. On a scale of 1 to 10, 1, you're not bothered, 10, you're very bothered. Okay, put it in the chat, your number. Put the number in your chat. 1, you're not bothered. Anywhere up to 10, you're very bothered that somebody has just won the Euro Millions. Put it in the chat. Give it a score. 1 to 10. It depends on who won it. Something you don't know. Somebody randomly. 1, 0, 1, 1, 1, 1, 4, 4. Okay. 1, 1, 1, 1. Now, okay, fairly low scores. Now, let's go rewind in time. And let's imagine that let's just simply imagine that you had bought a lotto ticket. And I'm here to tell you that you have won the Euro Millions. You have won 100 million. And you go and look for it in your purse, in your wallet, in your pocket. And guess what? You find that you've lost it. Now, give me a score, 1 to 10. 1, you're not bothered. And you're pretty bothered. Give me a score, put it in the chat. Okay, how are you feeling? 1, you're not bothered. 10, you're bothered. 1,000, 10, 11, 10, 10. Right, okay. This time it's higher. Why? Why is it higher this time around? Why? Why? This is gold. I mean, this is gold. When you understand, not that, but this is gold. Why? The loss. It's personal. Loss bias kicks in. That simply means this. Remember this. When we get something, have something, and we lose it, we want it back much more powerfully than if we never had it in the first place. Did you hear that? When we lose something that we believe was ours, we want it back much more than if we never had it. Think of a relationship. Think of money that you lose. Think of anything, right? When we have it and we lose it, we want it back much, much more. So what are you getting what I'm saying here? Do you get this? So when you create loss bias in other people, they want it. Does that make sense? Think of who uses that. I mean, give me an example of who uses loss bias in sales. You ever bought a car? Yeah. Exactly. Exactly. It's one of the most obvious examples. They've all studied NLP, right? Okay. They get you, take the car for the weekend, have a drive and see it and enjoy it. Take it home for the weekend with you. See how it feels. You bring it home. Ooh, it's your car. Same with a puppy. By the way, same thing happens. You're not going to give it back. Do you know what I mean? Once you have it, you want it. You don't want to give it back. You know, home store more. Yeah, when it's gone, it's gone. Yeah, loss bias. So the way we can activate loss bias isn't just by literally giving something. We can do it that way by giving somebody something, but we can also do it by giving it to them internally. Yeah, by creating the story inside their mind, by getting them to go there. If you're doing presentations, what was one of the first things I did? Get you to imagine what would be like to have effective communication. Okay, because now you feel it, because the subconscious mind, look, you're all awake, I presume there's nobody asleep, falling asleep here. Okay, but so your conscious mind is telling you, oh, I'm awake. I know the difference between what's real or imagined, but your subconscious mind doesn't. And I'm a hypnotist. I'm not interested in what your conscious mind thinks. And you're a hypnotist too. So you're not interested in what the conscious mind thinks. All we're concerned about is focusing on what the subconscious mind has heard and understood. And the subconscious mind has already felt what it feels like to have effective communication. Does that make sense? So, and it's the same with your clients. Yeah, you will imagine. Exactly. So, okay. So let's just simply imagine, right, that I was back at, let's say, my first online launch. Okay, the first time that I made 50 grand in a week. Okay, would you like to do that? Okay, with your clients, would you like to get sales like that? And let's just imagine that we're back there. You're back there with me and I'm there. And let's just imagine we're back there. And I was terrified because I didn't know how to do this online. Okay. And I had to share what was unique. You know, you hear all this stuff, share what's unique about you, what's different about you. And I gave that up. I gave that up kind of trying to be somebody. Don't like trying. not a good word. Okay, unless you want someone to fail. Okay, yeah, that's a great word. Okay, but I give up wearing a mask. And I could have said, like, I could have said, it's because I'm a black belt. It's because I drive an 1100 motorbike. Does anyone know that? Okay. I could have said it's because I've jumped out of a plane, right? I could have said that it's because, I've written 2 books. I've had 3 restaurants. I've been on radio, have my own radio show for 8 years. I could have said, I trained thousands in my academy, and I've been training NLP now for over a decade. I could have said all of this, couldn't I? Or did you see what I did there? Okay. Or I could just say something, I could have just said something like, this is what I'm really good at, and you can be too when you do this. Okay. It will radically transform your life. Okay. And you know what the people said to me? They said, yeah, Danielle, you've got to do this. You're meant for this. You're meant for it. Do you see what's happening? I'm priming you guys for the next slide, which is telling a story. And inside that, we put subliminal commands. Eddie, presume you've seen the subliminal commands. Yes? Okay. So, like, I was at an event a few weeks back, not the mums event, but a few weeks previously to that, the event, that I think Laura was at, a couple of you were at. And I met a woman who's now a client of mine. Okay. And I met her at the water machine. Well, it wasn't a water machine. It was like jugs of hot water, what they called flasks of hot water. And she was in a wheelchair, and I've been in the service industry for 17 years, and I'm very spaciously aware of things like that. And I go into service mode automatically. And I was really conscious. She asked me, I turned around, I was standing beside these big flasks of hot water, and she asked me she had her little flask with her herbal tea or something in it, and she asked me would I pour some hot water in it. And she was holding it there, and I wouldn't pour it over her. And I said, no, I'm not doing it. And she goes, it's fine, like I've got it. I said, no, put it down here on the counter and I'll pour it there, because I wasn't going to pour boiling hot water over her. And we got into talking about it because she was saying, oh, you're very, kind to be so cautious and all the rest. And I said, look, I've been in the restaurant business. I would never pour hot boiling water over somebody, and, it's too risky. So we got into a great chat. And we started to speak about about what we value, kind of these kind of things we value, and treating people with respect, treating people with kindness. What do we value? And I was explaining to her that, like, what I value is respect. I value having integrity. I value kindness. These are the things that matter to me. And I like to spend time with people like me that value this also. Okay. That value manners, that value growth, that value that people that are the big dreamers. That's who I work with, because like attracts like, doesn't it? Doesn't it? Right? So we've just done exactly what we're about to do. Okay, in the next room. Okay. I want you to go into a room. I'm going to stop sharing now for a second. We've got 2 slides left, and the best is the last bit for today. We've got more gold coming tomorrow, but this is going to start making a lot more sense now when we go into the next part. What I want to do is I want to put you into breakout rooms now it is going to be quick because we are over time. I'm going to put you into rooms. I'm going to try and make you into smaller rooms, 2 minutes each side, and you're going to build curiosity with a story. Now, who noticed the subliminal commands in my story? Come on, be honest. Okay, now it's very simple. When you tell a story, and I'm going to make it this really easy for you. put it in the terms that somebody else said it. So let me repeat what I said, because I have it written down so I can repeat it back exactly so you can actually understand what I did. I said, la, 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 everything about, you know, I could have said this, I could have said I'm a black belt, building authority, because the mind doesn't process a negative, so I still said it, obviously. Okay, I told you a story about something that happened. And in the story, I shared what somebody said to me. In this context, I said, the people said. I could have said, she said. I could have said, he said. I could have said, they said. I could have said, news says. I could have said, the science tells us. I could have said, we are told. I could have said, it is said. Okay. And then in inverted quotes, I made a command to you. So I said, and the people said to me, yes, you've got to do this. You're meant for it. Do you understand? So what I want you to do is I want you to go into a room and I want you to share a little bit of a story about something maybe in your business and put a command in. So in other words, what you're going to do is maybe you'll be talking to a client and you might be telling her about something about a client that has worked with you. Be honest. We want this to be a true story. We're not making rubbish up. We're talking about something that's actually true, but we're just using that context to have more emphasis. So when you're with a client and you want to sell to that person, you want to tell them about your service, and you're attempting to tell them about a wonderful client that you work with that got great results, what did that client say to you? Maybe they said something to you, something like, you know, what you do is transformational. What you did for me is transformational. So you want to put it back in a context that makes sense for you as a command. So you might say something to them like, and she said to me, this is transformation. She said to me, you know, I really felt it. I felt after our first session how much impact. Use something that's true, something that really changed in me. And, you know, I was sitting there at home thinking about what you did. And I said to myself, oh my God, yes. You know, I was talking to myself and I said, you are about to do this. See what I'm saying? Does that make sense? There's the command. Got it? Eddie's nodding. Yeah. Okay, we got it. So I'm going to put you guys into chat. I'm going to put you into smaller rooms and you've got 2 minutes each side. Share a little true story and see if you can put in a subliminal command. Or breakout rooms. And we've got one more exercise, which is going to be the most powerful exercise. So stay. And I'm just going to break you guys up a little bit. Add room. So you're all with somebody different. And let's see. To room 2. And let's see, Catherine, to room 5. Hopefully you're not with the same people. 1, 2, 3. Some of you are in 3, some of you are in 2. Let me do another room. Let me see if I can make you into 6 rooms. So you are all in 2, so you have more time. 6, and let's go and move to room 6. Okay, hopefully I think there's one group that has 3. Nothing I can do about that. Okay, you've got 4 minutes. Have fun. See you in 4 minutes. So put it in the chat and let me know, was that fun? Is that getting you to think a little bit differently about how you go about interacting with people, speaking to people, you know, using your communication effectively? Yeah. Okay, now remember I said, were we all back yet? I'm just going to give it a couple of moments and see are we all back? Yeah, I think we're all back. Was that good? Put it in the chat and tell me, was that fun? Are you remembering the people that you're working with or talking to more? Okay, and have you seen the pattern that is happening in this process? I'm going to be sharing these slides with you so you'll be able to see the pattern and how I am priming you for the next slide and the next lesson in advance. Have you seen that? Have you become aware of that? So what did we already do just now in the last few minutes? Oh, hey, shh, cancel that message. We haven't got to. I've got some NLP practitioners that are coming on the masters, and we haven't got to that yet. We'll be doing all that in the masters soon. So nested loops, yes, they're great fun. They're very good fun. Okay, so guys, over the last couple of minutes before you went into the chat, I did this next lesson with you already. So you already know it. You already know it. Let me share screen again. More. How do I share screen again? Okay, share screen. Okay, okay. So I told you guys a story, didn't I? What else did I talk about? Put it in the chat. Did I talk about anything else within that story? Did I share anything else within that story? Was there anything else that I kind of, now for those that already know this, you know, kind of keep it to yourselves. Okay. So I kind of shared, where's my chat gone there? Okay. Yeah, definitely. What was it? The nested loops were good. Yes, definitely. Okay. So I was talking about the girl that I met at an event that's now working with me. Correct? It's a true story. It is a genuinely true story. Okay. I did meet this girl. This is exactly what happened. I always use truth. Okay. It is total truth. And she is now my client. Okay. So, well, what did I tell you about what I shared with her? What did I tell you that we spoke about? So, Jay, come on, top class student there in the house. Okay, I kind of started to talk to you about service industry values, share the values of respect. Yeah. Okay. So I kind of shared a little bit about me and what I value and what kind of who I am at a core. Yeah. What matters to me, didn't I? Now, why would I be sharing that with you guys? Is it just random? Why? Why wouldn't I know? Laura and Jen and Kate. Shh. You guys have done this already. So for anyone who hasn't heard me speak on this, why would I talk about that? Is it just randomly wasting time here? I'm just telling stories just for like, because I don't know what else to say. Why am I sharing that story? Why did that, me sharing with her and talking to her, how did that get me a client? You know, like $6,000, pay in full, coming once a month to Ireland to work with me privately from the UK. And she's in a wheelchair. Why? Builds trust, builds connection, authenticity. Yes, about what? To connect on a deeper level. So why would I resonate? Yes, all of that, all of that. Okay, here's the thing. Let me call it out straight. Have you ever gone to a networking event, right? And you're asked, what do you do? And what happens to you? Ugh. Don't you feel sick to the stomach? And let's imagine, especially when it's one of those, like you have to pitch in 3 minutes or something like that. Isn't it like a horrific feeling? You freeze. Yeah. Okay. You know, now I'm not a naturally nervous speaker. However, when the situation in the past arose where I had to kind of go and pitch myself before I knew all of this, okay, you know, this was happening to me. Like I'd be sick to the stomach of having to kind of say what I do. Why? Why do we feel so nervous about talking about what we do or, you know, what our business is? Why? Deirdre. Deirdre. Not Jen, not Maria, because you have done this lesson already. Not Sandra, yes. Maggie, yes. You can reply. Carolyn, you can reply. Catherine, you can reply. Eddie, you can reply. Donna, you can reply. Why? Freeze. Fear of rejection. It matters to us. Fear of judgment, not good enough. Yes, yes, yes. And all of those, absolutely. And I like what Caroline said. It matters to us. Exactly. And like I am, remember at the start of this, I said we love to make assumptions, don't we? And Eddie very smartly said everything is an assumption. Imagine you go to a networking event, you started off as a new coach, a new business, or you've got or a long time business, you've got a phenomenal product, and you have to pitch in 3 minutes. Or you have to tell them you're doing a networking and they say, oh, what do you do? And what do? You go, oh, I'm a coach, or I'm a flower arranger, or I'm a restaurateur, or I'm an accountant, or I'm a a marketer, or I'm a photograph, a brand photographer, or I'm a shopkeeper, or I'm a therapist, or I'm a whatever, right? What happens next? What happens next to the person opposite you? What did we say that Eddie said? What did we start with? Single biggest problem with communication is the illusion is taking place. Close down. Yeah, they ask you more. Depends. You said it, Eddie. What are they going to do when I say to you, I'm a hypnotist? What do people do? What happens? What happens in our brains? Assume. Deirdre, yes. Assumption. You're going to make an assumption on that person based on your experience and everything that you have in your filing cabinet of life and your past experiences. You're going to assume something. You're going to be judge, jury, and whatever it is of that person based on your past experiences of what you know about coaching, hypnosis, photography, child minding, therapy, whatever it might be. You're going to come to your conclusion of the person standing opposite you. Am I correct or am I correct? Right? So is that beneficial? And no wonder you feel nervous and sick to the stomach, because as Caroline said, this matters. This matters to me. This actually matters to me. Anyone that knows that knows me, and some of my students here, I'm like, yes, of course I talk about, sales, but I don't do this. I never got into this profession because of money. I got into this profession because it helped me love myself. As corny as that sounds, and it helped me form a relationship with my father again. And they were the most important things. And I want other people to realize that they are phenomenal as well. So I don't do this, this is huge importance to me. Huge importance. So when we have to go and convey this to somebody, and I don't want anyone to feel like the way I felt. And when we've got to go and say this, as Caroline says, it matters to us. And I say to somebody, oh, someone says to me, and what do you do? When I say, I'm an NLP trainer. They're probably going to go, yeah, oh, I don't believe in that stuff. Don't look me in the eyes, or I'm a hypnotist. No, you guys are evil. Don't look at me. Or I don't believe in that manipulation stuff. You guys are all manipulative. I met one before, and he did this and she did that and they did that. And I heard this and I found out that and I know this. And we make an assumption, don't we? So whatever you are, if you say I am, remember they're the most powerful words. Okay, whatever you put after that is going to shape us, right? We've heard that said. So when you say I'm a coach, so what? I mean, really, honestly, with all respect, but so what? There's 3 billion of them out there. What makes you stand out? Like, it's kind of, okay, yeah, you're another coach. Oh God, no, she's going to pitch to me now. She's a coach. Oh yeah, I have to look into it. Oh, that's great. You're bored. You're not interested. It's not a great way to introduce yourself, because people are going to assume based on their past experience. Now you might strike lucky. They might be looking for a coach. They might have heard somebody is a phenomenal coach and now they're out to get one. But, very likely that it's not going to land because they're based on your assumption. So I've already given you the lesson, and I know I've gone over time. I hope you guys are all okay with this, because I want to put you into rooms again with this last one. I'm going to skip forward because this is our last slide. Okay, now what we're going to do is, here's the thing. When you go into, oh no, actually, that's not really it. Actually, we're just going to leave that for a second. Go back here. Go back to curiosity. Okay, for a second. So when you go into a pitch, what if instead you started with something like this? Instead of saying, I'm going to put you into rooms really quickly. What if instead of going, oh, I am, let me actually stop sharing this. Stop sharing for a second. Okay, so what if instead of going, oh yeah, I'm a coach, or I'm a therapist, I'm a hypnotist. Hypnotist isn't bad, depending on what type of client you want to get. I mean, we learned that with Just in Trance. It's not a bad way, because everyone goes, oh my God, you're a hypnotist. Okay, so that might have some power if you want to be a powerful hypnotist, if you want to be the one in potency. I, as an NLP practitioner, use a very subliminal way. I don't like to be the one in control as an NLP hypnotist. I mean, hypnosis and NLP, in my opinion, are the same. The only difference is NLP is more covert. It's more subliminal. It's more conversational, whereas hypnosis, possibly, if it's done like that way, is more obvious, right? So, but in NLP, it's more, I want you to know that I want you to feel the power that you have yourself. I want it to come from you, not come from me giving it to you. I want to help you see that you have it. So it's a slightly different approach. So what if instead of saying, I'm a coach, who here is a coach? Give me your businesses. Give me what you do. I know some of them, but the people that I don't know, give me your businesses. What do you do? When someone says, what do you do? What do you do? What do you do, Maggie? What do you do, Sandra? What do you do, Caroline? What do you do, Catherine? What do you do, Jackie? What do you do, Donna? What do you say? What do you say? I know some of you guys, what you do. What do you do, Deirdre? Okay, yeah. Okay, now, have you ever had the problem? Okay, so you say this. So you say, I calm the mind. Is that what you say? So when someone says to you, oh, what do you do, Jackie? Oh, well, I calm the mind, relax the body, and soothe the soul. That's not bad. That's not bad. That's quite good. Reflexology and cell thermomix. Now, that is going to put you in a box, in my humble opinion. Okay, because if they like reflexology and they've experienced it, great. If they don't know what it is, they may or may not think it's fluffy. They might think, oh God, it's one of these woo-woo things and I'm not interested. They might have had a bad experience with it and not want to go and see another one. So it may not, and selling Thermomix, again, it's something, it's a piece of equipment. Oh God, she's going to try and sell to me. It's may put people on the back foot. Okay, rapid transformational therapy. I know what it is. Not everybody might know what it is. They may think it's woo-woo. They may think it's scary. They may think it's kind of hypnosis. I don't know. It's a little bit, it's a word. It's putting you in a box. Help business owners, entrepreneurs show up with authority, integrity, and authenticity through personal brand photography. That's probably the best one so far. That's my favorite so far, Sanda. Psychotherapy under hypnosis to get deeper into the subconscious. Again, I wouldn't be keen on that. Again, I know what it means, but what if they've had a bad experience with a psychotherapist? What if the last psychotherapist they went to, they hated? What if they think all psychotherapists are evil? As Richard Bandler says, psychotherapy. What if they're scared of hypnosis? Okay. I often don't tell people that NLP is hypnosis. I often don't tell people that I do hypnosis. I'm doing hypnosis now. I don't tell people that I'm doing hypnosis all the time because it scares people. People think it's something weird and wacky and that you have no control over. Okay, so I offer one-to-one tuition. I'm a vision maker. Okay, I like it, except it's a bit vision mixer. A vision mixer. I don't know what that means. Okay, it's a bit vague. it might build curiosity. You might say, okay, tell me, what does that mean? That's not a bad approach. I offer one-to-one tuition to young children with additional support needs. Okay. Yeah, that's fairly clear. That's fairly clear what you do. It's, for me, it's a little bit flat because you were the one also that said that you were passionate about it and it mattered. And I feel that doesn't sound like it matters in your words. It doesn't have the same potency as when you put the comment in that it matters. I create happy homes, empowering clients to see the potential of color to enhance their space, allowing them to express themselves. I like that. They're my favorite, and Sanda's. Now, so what I would say is this is what you're going to do. I'm going to put you into a room because I hope you guys are happy to stay for a few more minutes. And this is the way that I approach pitching. Instead of saying I am, because I know I'm going to be boxed, I say who I want to work with. Because I don't want to attract clients anymore, believe me, because I've had it, that I don't want to work with. Have you attracted clients that you're so desperate to get the money and get the client that you've had clients that you've later said, oh God, I wish I hadn't had that person as a client? Have you had clients that are difficult, that want their money back, that then pay you and then say, oh, you know, this isn't what I signed up for, this isn't what I wanted, they don't get the results, they don't take part, they don't actively participate, they're you know, they're tire, you know, they're whatever the sentence is, they're curb people, that sentences, they, you know, they're victim mentality, they, you know what I mean, and they're going to blame you, they're going to hate you, they're going to say, this is different. Have you ever had any of that? Have you ever had any of that? Yeah, right. So I stopped because I learned the hard way. I was attracting people that just weren't my kind of people. So I stopped trying to take everybody. And when you say, oh, I'm an NLP trainer, just that, you're boxing yourself, but you're also attracting the wrong sort because people are making a presumption of who you are. They're going to make a presumption. Okay, they might come along and say, oh, okay, because they did a weekend course in NLP, and they think they know it all, and they think, oh yes, I know what NLP is about because I did a course with somebody else, and I'm going to be completely different. And then they go, well, this isn't what I thought it was. This isn't NLP. I say, it is NLP. And they say, no, I did a course in NLP, and this isn't NLP. And I say, well, it's my NLP. Do you know what I mean? So for you, what if instead of saying, I am you start with exactly what I already taught you, what I said to the girl at the hot water machine, at the water flask, and I talk about who I work with and what I value. Now, who do you think I'm going to attract? People with the same values. People that want the same thing. So when I'm saying who I work with, I say, someone says to me, you know, what do you do, Danielle? I say, well, okay, what do I do? Well, I work with people who, you know, work with business owners who, you know, are startup businesses, or people who want to, you know, who really value freedom, who really value their time and really value their values. I want to be really in integrity in both selling with authenticity, that really want to make a change in people's lives and also their own, really want to feel happy in themselves and know that they're making a huge difference with other people, you know. And, you know, that's why I want to work. I want to work with people who have a growth mindset, who people that never want to stop learning, who people that are into self-development, that are into empowering themselves and are not victims, into victim mentality, or into an empowering mindset. That's who I work with. And with that together, we change lives, we change their lives. They grow their business, they scale it, they have more money, they have more love, they feel better, they have more freedom, they have self-sovereignty. That's what I do. Now, who do you think I'm going to attract? You mightn't like it. Maybe not everyone's for me. And that's okay, because we don't want everybody. We don't want the people that aren't meant for us. We want the people that are meant for us, because that saves a lot of hassle. So you attract people that are your people, that speak your language, that have the same values, that go, oh my God, I love the sound of that. You know, I mean, I had like, I say it was about 10 minutes with that girl. And I told her who I value and who I work with and what I do, by telling her what was important to me. The things that are important to me: respect, Manners, kindness. Kindness is a big thing for me. I can't stand cruelty, you know, and in any shape or form, to human, to animal, to anybody. I'm the biggest softie out there. And as soon as I shared this stuff, we connected. She's going, oh my God, you're just exactly like me. By the way, that's a really powerful word. Like me. Like me. Okay, it's a really powerful sentence. Okay, so you're going to attract people that are like you, and then you have the right type of clients. So what I want you to do is I want you to go into a room and I want you to pitch like that. Instead of saying, I am a boring, you've been put in a category and they've just made an assumption of you, and we do not want to be assumed that they know how incredible we are at what we do. Does that make sense? So you've got 2 minutes, breakout rooms. Okay. And I do have one last exercise. I hope you guys are all staying. I know I'm very late, but I want to make sure we cover this. I'm going to try and move these around. Move to room 4. Let me see. Move to room 2. Move to room 6. Move to room 1. Hopefully, let's see. Move to room. Hopefully, you're not with the same people again. Deirdre and Catherine, were you together? Put yes or no in the chat. Deirdre and Catherine, were you together? Yes or no? Yes or no? Yes or no? Yes or no? Quick. Donna and Sandra, were you together? Put in the chat. Quick. Catherine says yes. Okay. Okay. Move to room 2. Okay. So Catherine and move to room 4. No. Move to room 5. Just to make sure you are in different rooms. Donna and Sandra, no, you weren't in the same room. Jen and Catherine, Jackie, Deirdre. Okay, hopefully you aren't in the same rooms. If you are, tough. Go do it. So guys, let me know, how does that go? How did that feel? Put it in the chat and let me know. Was that a better? Was that a different? Was that a more interesting way to introduce yourself? Now, again, that may take a little bit of refinement, a little bit more practice and thinking about. I mean, you know, how wordy it might be, but can you see how that would be much more effective at attracting the right type of client? Can you see that? Can you see, are you getting that? How that's going to attract the right client for you? Because isn't it horrible to have to kind of act a certain way? And I see that all the time. I talk a lot about promoting yourself on social media and give people a lot of help with that. And they act a certain way on social media and they're all prim and proper, and or maybe they don't want to post on their personal page and they both post on their business page, and their personal and business page is like 2 different people. So, and then the person gets you as a client, and how are you going to behave? Are you going to behave like the way you behave in your personal page? Or are you going to behave the way that you are on your business page? That's exhausting. That would be exhausting to have to be constantly, you know, being prim and proper and having to act and put on an act. And believe me, it doesn't work. It's exhausting, and it's only going to cause trouble, you know. So can you see how pitching yourself that way, with attracting who you want first, would be much more effective and solve a lot of problems? And then you actually can breathe, because you actually feel, well, now I've kind of clearly said who I am, really more so than making who I am just, I am a coach, and putting it in a box, isn't it? Much more freeing, right? It's more all encompassing. Now, I was going to go into the last part, but I'm kind of thinking, I feel like it's going to be rushed. So I'm going to share the screen again. Unless you're all absolutely really, really keen and all want to stay, or how are you feeling? Are you all exhausted? Would you like me to leave the last little finale, which is a very good finale for today's session? Tomorrow we've got more gold. Put it in the chat and let me know. Great insight, great insight. Yeah, I said it's the best. Yes. So will we leave it till tomorrow? The other exercising, I think tomorrow. It's late. We're all tired. So tomorrow we are going to add the last slide that I was going to do, which is really important. And what that's going to show you is how timing is everything. And I'll give you a hint. Have you ever had somebody cold pitch you in a message, in the inbox, in an email, or straight out pitching to you, and they come along and they say, oh, you know what you really, need, or oh, this would be really good for you, or they say something like that, and how does it feel? Yeah, feels pretty yucky, right? So we're going to talk about timing and the right sequence. And there's basically 7 steps to this that we're going to start with tomorrow. In when you're speaking and introducing yourself and doing your pitch or talking to somebody, how you're going to do it in a much more effective way. In a much, much more effective way that is nice and decent and respectful and understands the psychology of human beings and how our brains work. And it will also get you a lot better results. We're also going to find out the number 1 principle that the subconscious loves, and it's not what we've already covered, it's something else. We're going to learn the most powerful words and the least beneficial, and we're also going to learn about mind reading. So you're going to be able to read people's minds. Does that sound good? Yeah. So I am going to stop the sharing for 1 second, and we're nearly done for today. And how do I stop sharing? Where are you? Oh yeah, stop share. Forgotten where everybody is. I can't find the screens. So put it in the comments and let me know, was that useful? Was that beneficial? What's the most beneficial piece of information that you have learned today? What was the most useful piece of information that you have learned today? Put it in, because writing it down has an impact on your brain. You are going to learn it. The little people inside your mind, I always talk about little people inside your mind, are going to put it forefront. Writing it down has an impact. By the way, if you're writing with a pen, write with a blue pen if you want to keep the information. Okay, colored pen, much more effective. What was the most effective thing that you've taken from today that you will put into practice immediately with your sales, with your clients? Okay to use humor. Yes, it's good to use humor if it's you in your natural way. Love it. Making notes here. Yeah, I am going to be sending you also the slides, so you'll have that as well as a recap. That thing I can't remember the name of. Priming. Was it priming? Excellent. Bringing values into communication helps a lot. Values and who to work with. Tell a story. Okay, one last thing. Yeah, telling stories and putting subliminal commands inside, that's NLP, right? That's hypnosis, NLP. It's very effective. One last thing I want to say to you guys. If you want to, I'm going to be sharing it tomorrow, but if you want to get on a call with me and do a discovery session where I will look at your business, I will give you some insight into your effective communication. You want to have more effective communication. I'm the first 5 people to jump on a call. I'm going to put it in the Calendly here with me. I am going to talk to you if you'd like some help for your business and how you can work with me and improve your communication. I am going to put the Calendly into the chat. First 5 people are going to get a gift. They're going to get a gift, something really good. The gift is basically, it is called, what is it called? It is called, where is it? What's the name of it? Doesn't really matter what it's called, but it's basically 4 workshops, 4 masterclasses. It's a little mini course, basically, we could say, and it is called, I'll find the name of it. It is called, I don't know, I've lost the name of it now. Who am I looking at? I'm looking at somebody, all products. It is called, okay, it's the deeper art of communication. The deeper art of communication, that's what it's called. Okay, and it's valued at 222 euros. The first 5 people who book a Calendly, it's a surprise, exactly. It's a surprise. That want to book in with me will get that for free. Now, this is for people who really want to scale their business. This is for people who want to get more effective communication, that want to learn the next stage on how to bring this sort of communication, this sort of deep subconscious communication that speaks to the 93% of your mind, which is everybody, okay, and which is everything. It's the part that makes your decisions. If you want to learn more about that, and you want to have a conversation with me about that, and I'll have a look at what you're doing and what you're saying and how you're pitching and how you're selling your stuff, and then we can have a talk. If you're interested in working with me, book your call. The first 5 people will get that for free. It's very, very good. It's going to help you for your sales. It's going to help you for your social media, for writing posts. It's going to give you a lot of templates in how to write really effective communication. This is what I love. I've done script writing courses. I've done book writing courses. I love words and communication and using ways to express ourselves in the most effective ways that people don't even realize how much it changes. By the way, this isn't just for sales. By the way, just make me finish with this. This is how to help people change. This is how to help people be more receptive. So if you're a coach, a well-being practitioner, you want people to be able to take in information. That's why hypnotists use it, because we want to be able to make people more receptive. This is for good. This is for your children. This is for your parents. This is for your partner. This is for yourself. This is for anybody that you ever communicate with, including yourself. Including yourself. So if you want to feel better about yourself, if you want to improve your self-talk, if you want to improve your inward talk or your outward talk, then it's for you, which is pretty much everybody. If you want to have a better effect and you're using words, we haven't got to words, we haven't got to cover yet all the ways that you're actually affecting people negatively. Okay, and you're not even aware of it, okay, because you're a phenomenal hypnotist. You just have to learn not that, but this. We're going to talk about that tomorrow. Does that sound good? Santa, I know you've already booked your call. Yeah, let me see what I can do for you. Yeah, absolutely. So book your call with me, and yeah, and I will see you tomorrow. I hope this was useful. Put in the comments. Was that good? Was it good or was it good? Did I give you gold? I give gold. I give gold. I give my all. I'm absolutely exhausted. 2 hours of this. I trust and I hope and I pray that you found this worthwhile and of value. And wait till tomorrow. You're going to be, even more blown away. Go and book your Calendly call with me, and yeah, and I will see you tomorrow, same time, same place for magic. Yeah. Okay. Have a good evening. Okay. Bye, guys. See you tomorrow. Thank you. Bye, guys. Bye. See you tomorrow.